set them niggas up. And y'all go have them ask the questions. And you said you already sent them the link to WOIU because this is where they going to be a member of here in a minute. I didn't wipe my dang eyebrow off. It is what it is. This one rounded and this one straight. It is what it is. I was in there about to go to sleep. Hey, y'all. Everybody. Got that good old house dress on, girl, because I didn't feel like putting no clothes on. You know it. This the comfortable stuff right here. You ain't got to do nothing. You just slide it on and you're done. You can answer the door, sign papers, whatever. You run to the store, whatever you need to do. I done had this dress for 10 years, and it's about done. Perry, what's your social security number, honey? Mr. Washington, tell me your social security number. What is it you said? 76 what? Uh, it ain't. Y'all gotta know about doing that. Hey, no. I don't know where he went, but folks gonna quit asking questions they don't need the answers to. You do not need the answer to that. It don't matter. Timbuktu and beyond the earth. I'm from the earth. United States of America. I'm gonna wait for everybody to get in here if I have to be answering other questions. Maybe it's just because my forehead is shiny. I think that's what it is. You see that right there? That's what it is. It's all. What? Why aren't I losing my page? What are you talking about, honey? Something happening in Southern California. A lot of military helicopters. Okay. Yeah, it's a lot going on in those. See if I got it. Why do complete strangers think I'm gonna argue with them? Do they realize I do not care if they be breathing or not? It don't change my life at all. So when they use their fingers to type stuff here, it made me laugh at them on the inside. Y'all know I'd be laughing at them on the inside. You're a complete stranger to me. Whatever it is that you think, it has no effect on my life at all. Whatever it is that you be typing sound like Tourette's to me. So, I mean, I don't know what else you want. You just yell at people when you're walking down the street and have conversations with the people in the car next to you as you're driving to work. I just be trying to figure out because we strangers. I don't know you. I don't owe you nothing. People is crazy. I guess they say you on here, you gotta talk to me. I'm on my phone, you on your phone, so you talking to me. Found all the new broadcasts originally broadcast January 2023. Oh, really? Okay. People weird. Like for real crazy. My heater came today, ready for the challenge. Come on, warm up the world and ease. Said it. It's 5 hours. Oh, okay, Miss Dallas. I don't know. People is crazy though. This internet got people fooled into thinking that people really care about their opinion. Mr. Perry, go and do something else, please. I don't know what you want to argue if this is the only way that you'll ever get a woman to talk to you, but I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. Nothing that you're saying is making sense. So I'm asking you to leave my class and go talk to somebody that want to hear what you got to say. How much more plainer do I need to make it for you, sir? You do realize I don't owe you anything, not even conversation or a breath. Go away. Thank you. So anyway, back to what we were saying, y'all. Um, what I was saying was, what was we talking about before I got off? Oh, we was talking about y'all getting put out of the church because y'all about to go in there asking questions. That's what we was talking about. I forgot. They prove me right every time and do, and that's why I just move on to the next subject. So, like I was saying, mobile detail. We keep it straight to the point. No chase over here. You hear me? And so I'm waiting for the folks that was in here earlier so we can answer their questions because folks just get to these keyboards and they just let whatever come off their fingers. You can't even stay off their tongue because it's clearly their fingers and they use them for the wrong reasons. They use them to talk to me and they shouldn't. They should use them to go find out some information or do something else, bother somebody. I don't know. Something that ain't going to involve CERCA. I guarantee you that because it's a waste of time. They come in here and get chopped in their throat real quick and fast and then they just leave on out. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't have time for stupid stuff. Don't we be having better things to do with our time, like learn something new every day? Don't your life feel fulfilled now that you don't be arguing with folks and you just learn something new every day? People be looking at you like, first of all, that's a random fact. How you even know that? Like, what made you even go look that up? Don't worry about it. Just know that I know when it's the truth. Go look it up for yourself. We all about pouring into people's lives now. That whole arguing and exhausting energy that don't add to nothing, no, that ain't our road. That's the other road over there. You hear me? We be doing other stuff with our time, like productive stuff, not exhausting energy that we can't never get back on a stupid conversation with a person that don't even want to learn for real. And I'm not calling a person stupid. I'm saying the action that you want us to engage in is pointless. Because I'll never meet you and you'll never meet me. So us talking and arguing, I don't care. I could be doing better stuff like researching something that's really going to make my mind and my toes wiggle. Make all my neurons fire. That's where I'm at. Right. So back to what we was talking about. Somebody new here. If you new here, raise your hand. Only place it can be. Sunshine, you gotta look, monkey. Seeking you shall find. I'm not making this easy. I'm not giving any hints. I said it's posted. This is a scavenger hunt. If you're new here, you will know. All of our contests are going to be scavenger hunts. That means I'm just dropping the clues and you gotta go looking. It's there. You couldn't have because it's there. It's right there in your face 2 times. Gotta look. You have eyes, but you are not seen. It's on there twice. So I don't know where you've been looking, but not in the right place. Okay. You knew, K. Marie? Okay. All right. So, with that, we're not looking for anything. I'm not looking for anything. I'm getting ready trying to finish the conversation I was having 20 minutes ago before I got listen now. I'm looking for the new people that came in and was asking where do we find this information. Those are the people I'm trying to talk to right now. Is y'all in here? It was some questions about Adam and Eve. I got up out my bed to answer. That's the only reason I got up because this other stuff I'm about to go get back in my bed and take this house dress off. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to find the people that. Yes, my husband keeps sending me your lives. Laugh out loud, just curious. Oh, tell your husband thanks, nephew or brother-in-law. I love it. Come on in, girl. What questions you got? Tell me what you want to know. Any questions that you've read in the Bible that? Oh, somebody's asked, why do Angels need reproductive organs. That was the question that was asked. What would they use them for? And I said, humping on the women's. And I said, well, in Genesis 6. And then they asked another question about something else. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember? Hey, everybody over here. I already love it here. I'll definitely be asking questions. Good job, Pumpkin. I'm happy your husband sent you. See? You see, he laid the cheese out. Husband, what they call him? Husband laid the cheese out, hun. He said, oh, no, babe, you need this. We got a lot of husbands. Your cousin over here, her name is Queen. Her husband wakes her up in the middle of the night. No, Jamar. Her husband wakes her up in the middle of the night. Circus on. She get up half asleep. 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay. He be like, Circus, the class is happening. So he ain't the only husband that be putting his wife on. It makes me excited. You got a cousin over here. We are all family. You got a ton of aunties, uncles. We got new babies coming. It's probably gonna be some marriages sometime soon. We got some grandmas. If you ever, now you talking about me, and I just got on. We got you know how your husband be waking you up. We got a newbie, and she said her husband been sending her the links all the time. She said I already like it here. I'll be asking questions. I said yeah. We got Queen. Her husband wakes her up out the middle of the night and be talking about class. It's time to get up. She be asleep, wiping the drool off her face. And she said not that he brought you in here with you blasting. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Wake up, it's time for class. 3 o'clock in the morning. Just went to sleep. I'm tired. No, we're having class right now. You need to get your books. Which is a good thing. You hear me? That makes me excited to hear, though. That's the thing. It makes me excited to hear. It makes me excited to see because your family members feel like there's something valuable that they've learned and they want to share it with you. And remember when I told you, I said, when your life changed and you start to do things differently and you're not acting the same, you're not super sanctified and too good, but when you just don't talk like you used to, and they know you used to be a cheater or whatever else it is, and they see you treating your wife right and doing right by your kids, they be trying to figure out what's going on. They know who you used to be, and they know you don't go to church. So they trying to figure out what happened. Because you ain't talking about you that been in church every Sunday. You ain't dressed up talking about church fit. None of that. Amen. Immeasurable growth in the spirit. Come on. Husband said, whatever I'm doing, just keep on. Come on now. Come on. Just keep on keeping on. And is he see the change in his wife? He likes seeing you read and talk to the people and get answers. Come on now. Why would you not want to see your spouse grow? That don't do nothing but make your life better. The more that your spouse grow, the more that your relationship grow. Period. The closer y'all get to God, the better your relationship is going to be. It's a real thing. I got 2 ex-wives that I've sent here. Come on, Tom. My husband be bragging, talking about the stuff I know about and do. Because he know it too. Now, she got my baby daddy journaling and reading. No, you got your baby daddy journaling and reading. Because he watched you do it. And now he's able to release, and he probably don't be so temperamental and so irritated all the time. Because he has a place of release. You understand? You changing and you identifying what it is that you need to do. I told you, once you start to change the nucleus around you or whatever that is, it's going to change. Your immediate circle start to change. Now, sometimes that's people getting pushed out because you're growing and everybody can't go where you're going. He definitely don't pick that drink up no more. You said what? You said we but God, thank you. It's some other people dealing with that issue with their spouses, baby, and you just gave them hope that God can do it for them. It's some other people in here that's fighting addiction. We had a man come in here talking about his wife the other night. He said, y'all pray for me because I'm dealing with it right now. I hope you in here so you can see that when you change, what's around you change. I'm trying to tell you. And a lot of times, gotta get rid of stuff that's poison in your life. And it's uncomfortable to change, but it is worth it. Yo, we got people's grandkids that came and said, Grandma, you not a mean grandma no more. Grandma, you a nice grandma now. You used to be the mean auntie, now you not mean no more. Mama, what's going on with you? We can come over here on Saturdays. Families are being mended. More patience. Come on now. It's so many different changes erupting over here. It's contagious. Okay. So, backsliding, that's a whole gray area. Because as long as you're getting up and you trying to, we've been taught is backsliding is not backsliding. They say when you ain't coming to church, you're backsliding. Well, we know that's not true because Jesus then wasn't even in the tabernacle that much. They wasn't. How you gonna be in the tabernacle and you in prison? You're being locked up. You're being chased from place to place. What I used to think was backsliding, I realized that's not backsliding. Backsliding is I ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. God, I'm about to do what I want to do. I'm not listening. As long as you getting up every morning and you renewing your mind, which is just changing one thing a day that you know God don't like and just working on it. It ain't saying, oh, I'm quitting this and that. No, God, if I smoke, help me smoke less. If I drink, help me drink less. If I cuss and you convicted me about that, help me cuss less. Every day, it is a journey. You did not get to where you are today from the day you was born. You had to go through 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 60. You had to go through all of those stages. Thank you so much. Hold on. You said what? I'm coming from your friend in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Base. I just subscribed. Turn on the bell. I like it. Come on. Come on. You said we got us the Air Force Angel. We got us a pilot. He can tell us what's going on in the skies. Come on in, sir. We're going to need you here in a little bit. Thank you. God always be sending what we need. It was you. Thanks, Jen. You see? Come on in here. We need you around. Listen. This is the thing, y'all. Okay, the Bible said there were giants in the earth. And after that, where did the giants come from after that? Somebody on the boat had the giant gene. And the angels, not all of them got locked up. We still see in movies today the evil spirits sleep with women, don't they? And we see in movies that an angel will sleep with a woman and a monster-like baby is born. The Bible tells us that there were people born with 6 fingers and 6 toes. Do you know what our medical community does to prove the Bible wrong? Who knows what they do? Can somebody go look up the percentage of people that are born with 6 fingers compared to 5? Someone just told my friend that they were a fallen angel. They died and came back to life. Oh, hell no. No. They cut off the extra digit. Your cousin had an extra pinky. Right. Right. They call it an abnormal growth. Ain't that crazy? They hide what God said is true. Because more people are born with that extra finger than without. And my daughter, when she was 17, taught me that. I said, well, she said, look it up, Mom. No, because a lot of people be having a nub. Some people still have the scar right here. Your husband had one? Your ex-husband? Where can you find what information? About the men of Gath? Or are you talking about online? That's genetic studies. You'll have to go start looking into genetics. Where is my book? Y'all, this is y'all fault that I can't find nothing. Oh. About the giants after the flood. It's the whole beginning of the Bible. They everywhere. The Zamzum and all of the races of people that were fighting against Israel were giants. Before and after the flood. It's everywhere. You just got to study the races of people, and then that'll get you. It's mainly like the Persians and different people, but it's everybody in there. It's not just one specific place. So look right here. We're going to look right here. Right? So it says the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterward when the sons of God, also afterward, right? When the sons of God went into the daughters of humans and had babies by them. Right? Not all the fallen angels was locked up. The Bible, where's the scripture where the Bible says you never know when you're entertaining an angel? I'm going to read this to y'all too. Where's the scripture where it says you never know when you entertain an angel? Somebody grab it for me. Now look here. You see this right here? And the Nephilim were on the earth in those days after the flood and before the flood, right? What's it say here? When the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. So there was already human men already because there was human daughters. They were the heroes of old, the mighty men or the men of renown, right? Now look here. Some versions of the scripture translate the word Nephilim as giants. So sometimes you're going to see Nephilim and sometimes you're going to see giants. Right? Now look here. It says right here that they were bigger and stronger and braver than all the others, the heroes of old, the mighty men of renown. Nephilim were set apart from ordinary people. Those with supernatural bloodlines found fame on the battlefield. Who were they? They were the conquerors, the champions, the rulers, and all of those guys. Hebrews 13:2. Thank you. Supernatural bloodline mean what? Right? You say no, I say yes. And you say no, I say yes. This book is down here on the floor somewhere, right here. So then if I go back to this Egypt and the rulers, which we talked about. See? Now, what the heck? Looky. You see where she's standing? She's standing on his feet. On his feet. And she is not even to his knees totally. So if she was on the side of him right here, do you see his feet compared to hers? And you see that skirt he got on when he was a ruler. You see that. You see it? Why does her head only come up to his knees? And she's standing on his feet, so it really would be below his knees. You see it? It would be below his knees. See? Now, this is why Kings, Chronicles, Judges, because the watchers, who were the watchers before? Who were the watchers before they became the fathers of the giants? What was their job on earth? Anybody know? That man and woman could never date. Do you understand what a shapeshifter is? Judges. Thank you. The Nephilim were the judges because there have been no kings yet. And this is why Enoch and Jasher says their judges sinned. They're judges. So when you watch Percy Jackson, Hercules, 300, Gods of War, all of that is biblical. Those are the children of the angels. Hello. Those were the children of the angels. Can you see this book? Of course you can. It's called The Cultural Atlas of Ancient Egypt and World of Ancient Egypt. Now I'm going to show you another picture. Please, somebody, because we do this all the time. For the OBs, y'all get to do it now. Please go get the scripture where it says they look like grasshoppers for me before I show this next picture. Stephen, go do something with your time. Because if all you know how to do is argue with people, I'm going to tell you right now, we don't give a shit. Take your negative Nancy self somewhere else and go talk to people that believe in what you believe. I don't care. You typing is only showing us that we really don't care about what you say. We just be trying to figure it out while you're still here. I'm going to put you in the drop dead friend category here in just a moment. No, I need y'all to post it out for me. Strangers don't be having nothing better to do with their time. You could go start your whole own clan of people, and you'd rather be over here arguing with somebody that don't even hear that you're talking. And there were giants in the and there we saw giants, the sons of Anak, which come of the giants, and we were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight, and we were as grasshoppers to them. So when Israel sent spies into Canaan, they saw the sons of Anak, the sons of the Anakim, or the Anunnaki. And it says that regular sized men, they was like grasshoppers to these people. I'm going to show you a good depiction. Would you like to see it? Who want to see it? Stephen, please don't get blocked, Pumpkin. Just go on. We don't care. And I know this is the only way. You don't got a wife, do you? Because if you do, why you not on top of her instead of being in my class? She don't get you right. That you got to argue with women and people that you don't know. Like your wife ain't topping you off good, evidently, because you wouldn't be in here arguing with us, I promise you. You're a little tense. A little blue in your area, or just trying to see? Because niggas that get some, they don't be having time to argue with nobody. They be too relaxed. So I'm going to need you to go talk to the wife and come back. That's what I need you to do. I'm telling you, you exerting your energy in the wrong place. I said that about 10 minutes ago. Use your energy for something better. Like pleasing your wife. Now go on. Thank you. Now, back to what I was saying. I know you ain't got no woman, because ain't no way in hell my nigga about to be online arguing with nobody. What is you arguing with her for? You know her? Poor baby. Anyway, moving on. Here go the grasshopper people. Y'all see it? There go the grasshopper people. This man is on a horse. You see it? He's on a horse. These people are walking. Right? See the people right there? They the size of this man's head. See him crawling up there?
That's 3 regular sized men. Oh, this is a guy right here. And this is a guy. I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. So these are regular sized humans. This guy's on a horse there. They're walking. Then there's this size guy here. See him? See this guy right here? He's a bigger guy. And then there's these little bitty people that crawled up there that are not even bigger than their heads. You see it? See his size right here? See how big he is? This guy's that size too.
Some people, I guess they don't understand English. I don't know. But then people make me feel like they white man people. Because if someone asks me not to do something and they're a complete stranger, I don't keep overstepping their boundaries. That makes me think you're a stalker. Or you don't understand. That's white van mentality. When a person is asking you to back up, or Karen, or Kirk, okay? When a person is asking you to not do something and you continue to do it, I don't know if y'all mamas didn't teach y'all that, but it make your mama look bad. You make your mama look bad, okay? If somebody asks you to leave, do you understand that when you don't, that's damn near like I gotta get a restraining order on you type mentality? I don't get it. Okay, here we go. I already did. So, again, when you read Numbers and all of the other scriptures about giants being in the land, these are the beings that they created. All the way from 450, the Titans, and all of these gods that y'all hear about. This is why, if you really now go back and look at all of the Egyptian hieroglyphs, you know what you're going to see? Full size grown women this big and full size grown women that one of the most famous pictures of the hieroglyphs is a picture of 3 priestesses standing like this, and they all got killer bodies, and there's 3 different sizes of women, just like we just saw in that picture. With the sun rays coming, they all got their hands up like this, and they holding something like this. If you go look at that picture, right? If you go look at that right now, there's 3 different sizes of full grown women there. You can tell by their shape that they full grown. So when I read in the Bible and it says that they was as grasshoppers to these men, what size does a person need to be for a human that is at least 6 foot have to be to, okay, if you've ever been up in the St. Louis Arch, I think it's like 623 or 632, something like that, feet off the ground. When you look down, people look like ants. Cars look like little toys, like little ants just moving around. Everything looks really small. So if a person is 450 feet in the air, this is why when they used to show us in the cartoons, you would see trees being smashed under the giant's foot. Whole areas of trees. And now we can go and look on the top of mountains. And what people have been thinking was a lake, now that we have drones, they can see that it's a footprint. that they've been thinking was a whole lake. And so they could get up there and see that, oh, that's not a lake, that's a damn footprint. What the hell made that footprint that big? The giants didn't. Okay, listen. Why would. Okay, listen. The angels had relations with regular sized women. The babies that came. Okay, Shaq did not come out his mama the size he is, and neither did Andre the Giant. They started out, the womb is only going to carry what the womb is going to carry. Once he get out the womb, it's exponential growth. Shaq could have weighed 6 pounds when he was born. Andre the Giant could have weighed 7 pounds. That don't mean they wasn't going to get to the size that they was going to get to. Your womb is only going to carry one thing. What's in your genetics is something else. Yao Ming or whatever his name is, he didn't come out his mama 9 feet tall. He came out 5 pounds. Now what he grew to, that's a different thing. Okay? Now, 6-fingered people. Here we go. We actually have a video. We talked to a man, Pines, Stanford Pines. He lives in Kenya. He lives with 6 fingers. He used to go by Jimmy J6 on TikTok. He changed his name to Stanford Pines, which that's his name. He lives in Kenya. He's living with 6 fingers right now. And he came on our live finally after 2 years. We had been missing him because he was in Kenya and we over here, and we had been trying to get together, and then we finally got in the live together a couple months ago. So here, 6-fingered men, and there's a lot of people living right now with 6 fingers. Okay? Now, the Bible says right here, in still another battle, which took place at Gath, there was a huge man with 6 fingers. Huge man with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. 24 in all. He also was descended from Rapha, the Raphaim, the sons of Rapha, mentioned in 2 Samuel, giants. Look at this. Now, who want to get their head bust open now? Do you want to get your head bust open now? Have you ever heard the term big black guy? Black guys just got muscles on their muscles. He's just a big black guy. Who's ever heard that in a description of a black man? And he ain't even that big. You be like that. That's Tyrone, and he is not big. I will bust him in his head. Let me show y'all first. See that last paragraph down there? See what it say? Right here. Today, having extra digits is called polydactyly, and its frequency varies among races, with Caucasians being less prone than those of African descent. Why is that an important fact? Where were the giants created? What area of the world? Where did they start out? In Ur, in Canaan, in ancient Mesopotamia. Now, y'all saw that said that the leaders, the mighty man of renown, the warriors, the conquerors, they were all the children of the giant, of the angels and their descendants. The Anakim, the Rephaim, all of them, the Zamzumin, it's a whole bunch of them. I don't got all the names to them right now. But we saw that the sons of Rapha had 6 fingers and 6 toes. Now, Og was one of the Rephaim, or the sons of Rapha. And we just read about the sons of Anak, right?
Who was here when we just read about the sons of Anak? When the spies went over there, they said they see us as grasshoppers and we see them as such. And I just showed y'all the picture of ancient Egypt where there was 3 different sizes of people, and from the largest to the smallest, and even the middle size to a regular human, the humans look this big like a bug. Yeah, I was just in here when I just showed that, right? And we just read about the sons of Rapha, the Rephaim, the sons of Rapha. This should be an A. They changed the interchangeable E and A. But the Rephaim. King Og was a giant. You know what's in here? Now, I know if you've been here, don't tell it. Don't tell it if you've been here. If you've been here, don't tell it. But if you are new here, can I bust your head wide open? Anybody willing to come on up here and let me hit you with a balloon with water in it? You were born with 6 fingers. That means that somewhere in your genetics, the men of Gath was your great-great-granddaddy. Somewhere. Okay. Who watched GOT? Who watched the GOT on TV? Who watched GOT? Anybody in here? If you're new, did you watch Game of Thrones? Okay. Good job. Now, Og is a real person. He was a real king. You can look at the Persians. They have wars with him and all these different people. There's different people. This is where we get the word ogre. 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 Ogre comes from Og and his brothers. An ogre. Og. Giant. An ogre is a big, ugly looking thing. Right? Right? Yeah, OG. Y'all don't even know y'all be calling on a fallen angel's kid all the time and don't even realize it. But moving on. His name is still alive. Here we go. So to the newbies, look at this. Now, Og was a real person, and Game of Thrones was a show. But look what it say. In the 100,000 giant war that Og fought in, the dragon siblings with white hair and blue eyes entered the 100,000 giant war from the east. The dragon siblings that told of a wealthy city in the sky. The dragon siblings who worship gods we do not know, and the dragon siblings who were protected, and they used to say, by the old gods and the new. Moving on. The dragon siblings who were protected by the bright ones. The dragon siblings whose joining army added 20,000 Rephaim to the battle. The kingdom of Og hired the dragon siblings with the gold strip from Baal of the Earth's temple. So the white hair and blue eyes is actually biblical. So my daddy said he's going to make you watch the Bible one way or another. You don't have to read it. You can watch it. I'm going to show you where the sons of Anak is in here too. See that, what that say? The giants of the 100,000 giant war. Now, who was the 2 people fighting in the 100,000 giant war? Nimrod, who was also a Nephilim, was fighting against King Og, who was a Rephaim. Who knew that Nimrod was a giant? Who knew that Nimrod was a giant? And Nimrod fought in the war with the dragon siblings that we see on Game of Thrones. They also called it Ragnarok too, and did. Now, thank you, because I'm about to show you something. Let's do it. Norse mythology.
And it's the tale of who? The gods, sagas, and heroes. Okay, right? Thor. Now let's see if they say the same thing that Genesis says. I think it does. It does. Do you know? Do you love it? See right there. You see what it say? Right here. We know that the giants and the Nephilim lived in Ur. Right? We know this. I'm showing YouTube first because they be having to wait. Now, I got y'all over here. Look, 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 look. The Nephal or the Nephilim. This is in Genesis 6. Right? But where did they live? In Erd. Or if you know, they lived in Ur. Or what is called now Iraq, Iraq, Iran, and all of those countries that keep fighting over it, the Nephilim. This says exactly what the Bible say. That the Nephal or the Nephilim, the giant world, the upper giant world. Ain't that crazy? That the Bible say the giants lived in Ur. Norse mythology say the Nephal or the Nephilim, and now I saw somebody said they a Hebrew Israelite in here. Can you answer me why the dialect or the male dialect of Hebrew is named after the fallen angels? Who taught the first written language? You see it? The masculine now y'all remember the angel came down and held Seth's hand to write Adam and Eve's story, but we're gonna move on. Look at this. The paradigms. The Nephal, the Hiphal, the Hophal. The Nephal. Did we just read something about the Nephil? The Nephal? We know that E-L-A-L-E-L, Elohim, Allah, is interchangeable. So why in the world with angelic dialect and we have a race of people called the Nephilim? Biblical Hebrew. And the paradigm is named after the giants. I wonder why. Could it be because their mothers wrote spells and their daddies taught them the language of heaven that they weren't supposed to know? Well, we already know Seth was writing, but it was in the 7th generation. See, this is the thing, right? Adam was alive to see his 7th generation, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he was alive to see his 7th generation because it was in the days of Jared. In the 7th generation from Adam, he lived 930 years, which means he was alive when the angels was tap dancing on his granddaughter's guts. And the first written language didn't come until after Adam and Eve died, because the angel came down and held Seth's hand and had him write their lineage. The angels was already here. Now, I don't know if they had taught women written language yet, but they had definitely taught them spells and magic medicine and incantations and the cutting of roots. This is when your Iron Age came and all of that, and I can show you in Enoch right here. Because the fallen angels is the ones that taught men how to mine the metal out of the rocks and to make weapons and your medallions that you wear on your necklace that's made of fallen angels. And if you want to know where the descendants of Adam and Eve is, you can read that here. This is how your Genesis is supposed to look. And it mentions Genesis right there. The descendants of Adam. And it talks about their daughters. And you can actually know their names. Now, in your Genesis 5, in the lineage of Adam, it says, and he had other sons and daughters, but it don't tell you it was 63 of them like the Jubilees does. You can figure out which brother married which sister and where they moved. The angels were already here before Adam. There was 2 sets of angels that fell. There was a war in heaven. There was Lucifer and his angels, and he took a third of the angels with him. But there was another group called the judges that had not fallen. Because why would God, that evil angels, judge his people? That doesn't make any sense. There was another set. But I was going there, so stay around so I can teach you something. Hold on. We do know that there was fallen angels here, but there was another set. They were called the watchers, the judges. And what does it mention? Genesis 6, 1 and 4. That's Enoch. In the days when the children of man had multiplied, it happened there were born to them handsome and beautiful daughters. Lucifer had already fallen at this time, didn't he? He had. He had been falling for a long time because Adam and Eve had already started to have children. Okay, so we know that it couldn't have been the first angels. Then could it? Nope, because we got to find out right here. And the angels, the children of heaven, saw them and desired them and said one to another, come and let us choose wives for ourselves from among the daughters of men and beget us children. And Samuel, being their leader, said unto them, I fear that perhaps you will not consent that this deed should be done, and I alone will become responsible for everyone for this great sin. But they all responded, let us swear an oath and bind everyone among us by a curse, not to abandon this suggestion, but to do the deed. Oh. Oh. Genesis 6 says the same thing, that men had already begun to multiply on the earth when the sons of God came down and saw them and said, her booty fat, I want that, and I'm going to have a kid with her. And so what happened when that happened? Let's see, chapter 7, Enoch 1. And they took wives unto themselves, and everyone respectively chose one woman for himself, and they began to have sex with them, to go into them. And what's the first thing they taught them? Magical medicine. This is why your word pharmakia, pharmacy, if you go look at the definition, it means magic, spells, incantation, poison, or witchcraft. Oh. So the first thing that they taught their wives was magic medicine. And then what did they teach them? How to use the magic. Because they taught them about roots, which you need, incantations, and plants. And the women became pregnant and gave birth to great giants whose heights were 300 cubits. If you do the math, a cubit is between 18 and 21 inches. So if you measure from the tip of your finger right here to the inside of your elbow, it's either going to be between 18 to 21 inches. And if you multiply that times 300 and divided by 12, you get 450 feet tall. Let's go. This is why their appetites were insatiable, and this is why the famines came, because you can't feed nothing that big. Here we go. Let's go. What else did it say? So, gave birth to great giants whose heights were 300 cubits, and these giants consumed the produce of all the people. If the giants consume all the produce, that would produce a famine, not enough food. So when I go back and I look after the seventh generation of Adam and there starts to be wars, I'm going to get to that in a minute. And famine, when there wasn't before, I know why now, because there were giant beings on the land that looked like, this. Because there's the regular sized people right there climbing up. Or down there on those horses. See? And then look how big he is compared to these guys who are regular sized people. And then you see them. So this is three different sizes of people. And when I read in the Bible, it said when the spies went into Canaan, they looked like grasshoppers to them. You mean like this? You mean like that? This is the grasshopper people. These are the medium-sized giants, and these are your titans. The 450-foot tall folks. Right here. So could you imagine if God told you that y'all was going to overcome these people, you think that you would be? Okay, I don't know. Well, just block me, pumpkin. That's the best way I could tell you. So when you read Numbers 13 and 33, and it says that the spies went over there and they look like grasshoppers, that's the depiction that you need to have in your mind as to why they used to be scared when God would tell them they was going to be able to defeat the enemy. You hear me? Now look here. Let's keep going. What's this say right here? What did they do? These giants consumed the produce of the people until the people detested feeding them. So what they do? So the giants turned against the people in order to eat them. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. I'm going to grind your bones into my meal. Oh, okay. And they began to sin against birds. They began to have sex with birds and wild beasts and reptiles and fish. As to why your leaders look like this. Human body. There go the three size people I was telling you about right there. Giant, not giant, or giant, giant, medium giant, human woman. All these women is thicker than 1,000, baby. You see, they full grown. They got all they need. They got buns and humps in the front. Y'all done seen this picture a million times and never paid attention that there was three size people in that picture. And we know that the giants had elongated heads. We know this too. You heard me? So we got animal head people. And Enoch tells us that they went into the animals and the fish. And if you look up, Job's brother Nereus was half fish. Oh, he said they went into the reptiles. You mean to make people like this that was the rulers and the gods? Wonder if that has anything to do with it. Don't you see this in Harry Potter? You see this, and they be Persians. They make it look like a man and whatnot. But some of them was looking like this, and he's an ancient Persian, just so you know. And then Harry Potter, the dude, what's his name? That's the horse guy that's always in a wheelchair. I mean, not Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. Enoch said they went into the birds. Do you see this nigga feet? Do you see his muscles? Do you see he got my watch on though? He got two watches on. He got a sundial watch on and he got the other. But why do this nigga got wings and human hands and a bird face? Tell me that. Now, humans have a genetic disorder called sickle syndrome. We talk about it all the time. If you're new here and you go look up sickle syndrome, the people with sickle syndrome, their faces is kind of shaped a little bit like this, like Gru from Minions. This is sickle syndrome. Bird syndrome. That's the genetic disorder. Bird syndrome, sickle syndrome. Cyrenomylia is mermaid where the legs fuse. Hypertrichosis, werewolf. And the list goes on. Polydactyly is webbed fingers and toes a lot of times. Syndactyly, whatever. The extra fingers and toes, they cut them off. There are people that have vestigial tails right now. There's somebody in here that might have one and they just don't tell nobody. There's humans walking around with tails on the top of their tailbone right now. And there's also people born with subcutaneous horns that grow in the exact same places that they showed us that the horns grow on the satyrs. And they call it an abnormal bone growth or a subcutaneous bone growth. Subcutaneous horns. They're still shaving them off now. So just like they cutting off the fingers, they're cutting off the tails. And they're cutting off the, it's a lady in India right now. Her horns are still growing. They cut this one off and another one started to grow on the other side. She's alive right now. We know that there's a 6-fingered man living. So I just be trying to figure out, like, what is it that you don't believe? Because when you go study the genetics of it all, it's here. Which one? That's it's called In the Beginning. And then this is the book we read out of with Enoch in it. So you can know. And you know people that have tails? Yeah. And people don't believe it. So where did they come from? Hospitals say more folks born with 6 fingers than 5. Told you. Yeah. Uh-huh. So look here. What's it say? What did they teach them to do? So they turned against the people and they began to sin against the birds. How we got the bird rulers, the wild beasts, satyrs, and all of that, the horse folks. Reptiles, reptilians, or that alligator god I just showed you, and the fish, Poseidon them. And their flesh was devoured one by another, cannibalism, and they drank blood, vampirism. And then the earth brought accusations against the oppressors. And Azazel taught the people the art of making swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and he showed to their chosen ones bracelets, decorations, and what? Eyeshadow with antimony, which is nuclear science, ornamentation, the beautifying of the eyelids, and all kinds of precious stones, all the coloring tinctures, and alchemy. Oh. So the 200 angels that came down and slept with the women, that's what they taught their wives. That's the why they were the high priestess, and they were always doing some magic. Witches. Oh. Yes. And we have laws where people can be with animals right now. Yep. It is not against the law in several states to marry your animal and to consummate that marriage right now. More states than you know is legal. In Game of Thrones, they said poison is a woman's weapon. It is. Why is it certain parts of things taught wrong and others aren't? What you mean? Like the magic? What you mean? Show me the front of that book again. Oh, Josh, if you don't use your manners, you get nothing here. You're not my boss or my husband. What you can say is, can you please show me that book again? And then I might. But when people do stuff like that, I don't show them nothing. From the fallen angels. Nothing that they taught was okay. Nothing that they taught. Nothing that the angels taught was okay. Nothing. Because we were not supposed to know astrology, but we wear makeup and we have guns and knives, right? Right. That don't mean it's okay. This is the thing. If you use it to deceive, and there are people that use makeup to deceive people, not to enhance, but to deceive. It's not even saying that God wouldn't have showed us. You know what I'm saying? But when you start to use stuff to deceive or to do wrong, once you use it for sin, then can they procreate with animals? What you think they're doing in the labs? How do you think they know that a pig heart can live, a pig valve can be in your body unless they tested it in a pig first? Gene splicing is a sin. Exactly. It's women that get breast augmentation so big they have to get pig muscles. Well, if that's our body should reject it, but it don't. That should tell you something. Our bodies they can grow a human ear on a rat's back. That shouldn't be able to happen. They trying to grow fingers, and they getting different animals and taking things from them to try to regrow our fingers when we cut them off. It's called the Lost Book of Og. Oh, but that's what I was going to do. Show y'all the sons of Anak. That's in here. Okay. So, we just read, where's the scripture? Numbers 13 and 33. When they said they went, and it's somewhere else. Joshua or something. Somewhere else we looked at it. The Bible talks about the son of the Anak or the Anakim. The Anakim or the Anunnaki. Excuse me. Anak, other than Nimrod, was the first giant mentioned, excuse me, in Numbers. Okay. Well, the sons of Anak are the people I just showed you. Look here. So this is the 100,000 giant war. The giants of the 100,000 giant war. Og sent throughout the all-known world for uncircumcised Rephaim to fight Nimrod and his circumcised army. And the Bible says that God called Nimrod a mighty hunter, a mighty warrior. Who knew he was hunting monsters? He was hunting monsters. He was hunting giants. He was hunting satyrs. I'm going to read it to you. Look here. And you can go, where is Og mentioned in the Bible? Where's Og mentioned in the Bible? Tell me a scripture that mentioned Og. Og of Bashan. King Og of Bashan. He got another name. Because he was Eleazar too. Psalms 135 and 136. Nowhere else in the beginning. In Judges or nowhere. King Og ain't in there nowhere. Genesis, Deuteronomy. I was going to say, I know he in the beginning somewhere. Deuteronomy 3 and 8. Okay, so we know the King Og is mentioned. And in Joshua 2, Numbers 21 and 33, 32, 33. The book of Numbers, chapter 21, Deuteronomy. Talks about King Og of Bashan, headed for the land of Bashan. Okay, so we know he was a real person. Look here. So he's in a war, Og against Nimrod. And who he bring with him? Anak. Anak. This is one person. Anak. So this is the father of the Anakim. Anak. The keeper of the bodies before Baal. Anak, whose dark one shrouded over him with unspeakable darkness. Anak, who spoke the incantation to raise the dead. Anak, who worshipped Mot in secret. Anak, the transcriber of the first chapters of this very book. Anak, who cut himself and shaved the front of his head. Anak, who stood between Og and Nimrod and was then cut down by the circumcised Anak, who wounded Nimrod's genitals a second time. So the Bible mentions the sons of Anak. The sons of Anak. This the daddy, Anak. The father of the Anakim. And he fought in a war against Nimrod, who the Bible calls a mighty hunter.
You know who we hired? The dragon siblings with white hair and blue eyes. They came from the Far East. They fought in the war too. This is your Game of Thrones war right here, y'all. It goes through all the giants, who they brought with them, how many giants they had. Look, Skiron, who had lost his arm in the battle alongside Geryon. How many giants he had with him? 500. His army was 500. This had 500 giants. This guy, Hastor, Ox battle strategist. Okay, the dragon siblings, Game of Thrones, boom. Tarhunt the hungry, Meyer or Myri. It was all kind of a whip for the beast and a bridle for Nephilim and a rod for Nimrod's back. Uh. This is why Judges and Chronicles, the beginning of the Bible, people don't want to read it. And this is also why they left out the other names of Adam and Eve's kids and the daughters. Because then you can find out who the mama of the giants was and who was screwing the angels and who wasn't. Now, if y'all was reading with us earlier in Jasher chapter 51, it said that the men that was standing behind Joseph was mighty men. He had 72 mighty men. The Bible calls the mighty men the Nephilim, the warriors, the conquerors. So Joseph in Egypt, and we know that Joseph was a ruler in Egypt right under, and we just looked at the picture of how big the people was in Egypt. They were giants. Talo, Raka, the empty head. Vetis, okay? Kotos, the black Rephaim from the hot lands. Kotos, who strikes pulverized boulders and who pounded his fist inside and through his enemies. Kodos, worshiper of the gods we don't know. Kodos, who torn 20 circumcised Nephilim apart with his bare hands. Kodos, a violent giant whose fury none could reason with. Oh. Now, what you'll find is a lot of these names be in y'all movies. Like I just showed y'all, the dragon siblings. See, y'all thought Game of Thrones came up with that. But the Book of Og, the ancient Book of Og that they have now translated, says that it was some dragon siblings with white hair and blue eyes. Well, do you know who most of the producers are? They are people that read Hebrew and all of that stuff. And most of these manuscripts are written in Hebrew, Syriac, Coptic, or whatever. And they read that. And they go and they read these ancient manuscripts and they sell them to you as superheroes. But it's really the Bible. It's really the Bible. 300. That's the Clash of the Titans. Y'all want to know why the Clash of the Titans had to happen? Who want to know why the Clash of the Titans had to happen? I can show you. It's in Enoch 2, chapter 10. Chapter 1, verse 10. I mean, book 1, chapter 10. It starts at 9. Okay, so I'm going to just read this. It's right here, though. See this judgment, and they said to the Lord of the potentates, for he is the Lord of lords and God of gods, King of kings, and the glory, blah, 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 blah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. You see what Azazel has done, how he has taught all forms of oppression upon the earth, and they revealed the eternal secrets which are performed in heaven and which man learned. Moreover, Samyaza, whom you have given power to rule over his companions, Cooperating, they went into unto the daughters and defiled themselves and revealed to them every kind of sin. As for the women, they gave birth to the giants to the degree that the whole earth was filled with blood. And they're bringing their children to the gate of heaven. They're groaning, blah, blah, blah. Now, right here is when God speaks back. I'm sorry, y'all, over here. Screenshot that for me. I'm going to just read this so that don't nobody think that I'm not showing y'all. I'm going to just read 10. Here we go. And then I spoke the Most High, the great and holy one, and he sent a Suriel to the son of Lamech. Who is the son of Lamech? Who is the son of Lamech? What's his name? Noah. 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 And if you go to Genesis 6 right now, you're going to see the angels came down, tapped that. God said, I'm not going to let people live alone. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you what Genesis 6 say. A lot of people just skip on over it, but let me get my Bible here. I'm going to go to Genesis 6 and see what's there right here. Oh, this one don't got, I need my other Bible because it don't have the heading on it. Well, it should. But on most of your new Bibles right now, where it show a title, it say the flood. It say the flood. Now, you right? You just went and looked at it. I'm trying to tell you, look. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and that they were fair, and they took them wives, all they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with men, for that he is also flesh, and yet their days will be 120. This is because the giants was in the land. Right after that, when they came down and tap danced on them girls' wombs, there were giants in the earth, and in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, sons of God are not the sons of men, and they bear children unto them. The same became what? The mighty men which were of old, and the mighty men of renown. So if it was already men having babies with women, it was 7 generations of humans. 7 is completion. 7 complete generations, and the 8 mean new beginning, and it was a new beginning because it was a different race of people on the earth after the 7th generation. So the 8th generation started the giants. It was 7 complete generations of humans before it was tainted. In the days of Jerry, the 7th generation from Adam. You hear me? That's why the earth had to be flooded. There was 33,000 feet of water. I don't care what these scientists tell you. Enoch and Jasher tells us that the water was 3,000 feet over the highest peak. The highest peak, if I'm not mistaken, is 30,000. The tallest mountain, whatever, is 30,000. 3,000 feet over that is 33,000 feet of water. Well, you want to know why? Because something 450 feet tall can crawl real fast. Okay? Burrow down through the ground. There's a lot of things they can do. So God let hot water, again, hot water came up, not cold. That's why you see all these petrified giant animals. Even our word for dinosaur means giant, a lizard. There was regular lizards, and then right there in Enoch it says they went into the reptiles. So if angels went into regular sized women and made giant people, that means when they made it with the reptiles, they made giant lizards. What is what's the minotaur? A giant cow. What is the big old the snake the ghost snake? A giant snake. You got little bitty ones and you got big ones. You got little people and you got big people. Everything that the angels touched, they want to make their own race. So it's people like, oh, the angels made us. But the angels made some of y'all. They didn't make me, though. I don't want to be. They are considered reprobates, bastards. That's not who I want to be.
Uh, I mean, you do know that Jesus, God disowned their daddies. As to why Barak in Genesis, where it says, and he begat, and then you look through there and you see that Lot's daughters was the mothers to a race of giants. Well, how that happened? Lot's daughters and y'all humped on y'all daddy. Make it make sense. Who was the giant in the bunch? And Barak used to be Barakiel. But when God disowned him, he became a regular like man and he got a name like Barak. And then a line of giants came out of him. I wonder how that happened. Maybe because his stuff was ripped off of him, like we see in Legion and in Gabriel. And he was trapped to the earth and couldn't leave it. So they walk around looking like humans. Y'all found the scripture where it said you never know when you entertaining an angel. It never said good or bad. It never said good or bad. It just said you never know when you entertaining one. That means that angels can look exactly like us. Scripture where it says you never know when you entertain the angel. Beware. Because you never know when you entertain the angel. Where is that? What's the scripture? Never said good or bad. Just said angel. Messenger. Hebrews 13. No. Because angels and humans are not the same thing. Angels were made out of the cosmos. Humans were made out of earth, dirt. That's what we go back to. No. Bible say you never know when you sitting and talking to an angel. He didn't say good or bad. He just said angel. These angels that had sex with the women were not a part of the angels that fell. They used to be the judges. And they got so close working with humans that they wanted to be human. Not human, but they wanted to feel what it was like to have a human relationship. This is not the same angels that fell with Lucifer. They can, if they do like Nikki and say that somebody did an incantation and called Roman up. A fallen angel can inhabit them, the spirit. But y'all got to remember, angels are shapeshifters. Because you can't take flesh to heaven. That's why we leave it here. So they can look like flesh, but instantly they are changed and they can be in the face of God. They put on suits, like cosplay. If you don't believe me, you'll definitely want to read the Testament of Abraham when he got ready to go. Because Michael and Death had to put on young soldier suits and go see him. He said, nigga, come back tomorrow. I'm not dying today. Now, come back. He said, I'm tired. I don't want to go right now. Come back to, well, we going to eat again. And then maybe, if you ever seen Meet Joe Black, if you've ever seen Meet Joe Black, nope. If you've ever seen Meet Joe Black, they stole that from the Testament of Abraham. That's where they got that story from. Yeah. It's not in this book. It's in the other one. Oh, wait, no, it is in here. Excuse me. That's unpopular. There we go. Oh, no, it's not the Apocalypse. It's the other one, the Testament of Abraham. So it might be in my other book. Hold on. No, it's here. Because it's in the threes. Come in. There we go. Look. It's in her. See right here, the Testament of Abraham? See right here? So the commander-in-chief left the presence of God and went down to Abraham at the oak of Mamre, and he found the righteous Abraham in the nearby field, sitting beside yokes of plow of oxen and the sons of Mesech and other servants. And it goes on. And Abraham saw the commander-in-chief Michael coming from afar, and what manner of handsome soldier. But guess what God told him to do? He told him to put on some clothes
and change it so he don't scare him. Because goddamn, this is a good story. It will have you cracking up. Abraham was like, I'm not going. Well, then I want to see all the ways somebody can die before I die, because I didn't get to see that. He had a bucket list. God said, turn that damn chariot around. Ain't nobody gonna be alive. This nigga gonna kill everybody. Michael, turn the chariot around. Look, put the slap sticks down and turn that damn thing around. He about to kill everybody. For real. He calling bears out of there to eat people up. The ground opening up, swallowing people up. Michael said, what you want me to do with this nigga? I don't even know what to do. Go red, right. Right. Turn the chariot around. No, he can't go see the world. I know it's his bucket list, but no. It's really good. Really, really good. And he was like, I don't care. So death had to come get him. God didn't want him to be scared. He never wanted Abraham to see death. But since he wouldn't come, God had to tell death to come put on a different suit. Yes, this is one of my favorite stories too. It's so good. That nigga said, I ain't going nowhere with you. I'm about to go in here and go to sleep. Now, you do what you're going to do. It's the testament of Abraham. Look at. God sent Michael to come get him. It's hilarious, boy. This story is so good. I promise you, it'll have you busted or you will pee on yourself reading this. Don't smoke and read it. I'm telling you right now, you're going to annoy whoever you in the room with you got your headphones on. Honey, they going to be sick. Don't they, y'all? They going to be sick of you. I mean, you will laugh until you cry and pee at the same time. I'm trying to tell you it's that funny, but you know it's real. Hilarious. You said no for real, I'll be cracking up. I'm trying to tell you, every time I read this, I done read it so many times, and I still be tickled, because he is crazy. Out loud and real loud, for real, for real. And do. Listen here. On the flow, you're welcome. Just so y'all know, these two books is $51 on Amazon. If you don't got them, it's book 1 and book 2. They $51. They've been on sale for almost 2 years now. Thank you, Lord. But they have all of these books that used to be in the Holy Books, and the Catholic Church took them out. The Apocalypse of Abraham, the Apocalypse of Adam, Testament of Adam, Life of Adam and Eve, Echard, Letter of Orestes, Baruch, Enoch. There's so many books in here. These are the brothers of Joseph right there. This is the real Testament of Job in there. There's a Testament of Job. Janus and Jambres, those are the magicians that went against Moses. You can read their story, the Maccabees, the Jubilees, Little Genesis, right there. Jubilees is called Little Genesis, or the daughters of Adam and Eve. So all of these books are in these 2 books, and you can go and read them. It's real good. Real good. You can read the Testament of Adam and Eve. Learn that they didn't eat until like the 88th day out of the garden. I think it was like the 88th day out of the garden that they didn't eat. And it's 2 versions. It's a Syriac version and I believe the Coptic version. The Life of Adam and Eve. Who wrote it? They son, Seth. And you'll read that in here. That God sent an angel to hold his hand and get a clay tablet and write his father's a story the same way we would write our people's obituary after they did. It's no different. It tells you how Adam and Eve got buried. It tells you that when in the Jubilees, That when Cain tried to bury his brother, the ground kept spitting him back up. The ground, did y'all know that the ground kept spitting Cain back up? I mean, Abel. That nigga was frantic, wasn't he? That's why when God finally asked him, are you, he said, am I my brother's keeper? He done went back right there and his body is laying on top of the ground like this and he done dug 15 holes and the body just laid there. He was so irritated. I don't know where that nigga is. Yes, you do. Listen here. Could you imagine digging a hole, putting a body in it, 6 feet under the dirt, and you come back and the nigga lay like this on the top? 3 days in a row. And then on the third day, here comes somebody saying, have you seen Jimmy? No. No, I don't know where he is. Listen. I'm trying to tell you that story is so good. I was so tickled. The first time I said, hell no. It makes sense. Because when people unalive people, they be running around trying to hurry up and get shovels and this and that and be all tense and acting crazy and in the room talk about, I'm just going to go on and tell you the truth. I mean, it's right there. Ain't none of them changed. They still act like Cain, they daddy. Nervous and irritated. Nothing has changed. You don't want the police asking you no questions. You're getting defensive for what? Because Cain is your daddy. I knew it. I knew Cain was your daddy. I knew it. Trying to hide the body and it's been washed up on the sea. Trying to throw it back and put the things on the ankles and what, and the damn thing keep popping up. Nervous. You're just sweating. Is your sweat? Why is you sweating in this cold here? You nervous? You nervous a little bit, or what's going on with you? You still ain't seen Jerry, huh? No. What's that going on in your backyard back there? You digging something? You're digging a garden. Well, why are you going so deep? Is there something you found down out in there? Nigga be nervous like, no, I ain't found nothing over there. Can you leave? I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. But see, look here. That good old womb is good for other things other than tap dancing on it. A mama's stomach tell us something is wrong with her babies. Ooh. Let me call my kids. I don't know what this is. Wake up out of a dream. Let me call my baby. Boy, where you at? Answer this phone. Where you at, girl? I just had a dream. Hey, who is you with right now? You need to get up and you need to leave right now. The first mother had a dream about her son, that her other son was beating him and the blood was splashing in his mouth and he did not drink it. And she got up and said, something wrong. Something wrong with my baby. Cain, where your brother at? I don't know. Boy, where is your brother? I already seen what you did. Where is my boy at? She could feel it. That something that lived inside of her was no longer breathing, and she wasn't even where they was, because he took them up into the mountains somewhere and waited till he turned around and started busting his head open with a rock. I don't know. I don't know if he did or not. He told him sin and murder and all of that was going to come out of it. Sin, period. Murder is sin. Unaliving somebody is a sin. He said all sin is coming out of that. So I don't know. He probably did. I don't know. But I can't say for sure. But that mama knew. Soon as her baby wasn't breathing no more, she knew. And God woke her up out of a dream. And she said, I got to get to my baby. Something's wrong with Abel. Hurry up, boy. Come on, husband. Adam, get up. Hurry up. Now, your shoes is over there. Come on. Never mind. You stay here. I'll be back. Something wrong with my baby. I got to go. I ain't got time for you to wake up, man. Your shoes is over there. I said they over there. Come on.
So mothers, you dreaming something bad gonna happen to your kid, or you got that feeling, that came from Eve. She was the first one to experience that. She had a dream and she woke up and her baby was dead. And God showed her who killed him. I, I knew 2 weeks before my son died that he was going to die. I had a dream. Come on. There's nothing new under the sun. Not watches, not planes, not thank you, not nuclear science, nothing. Even the trans lifestyle that everybody just says is this new we in our, that's not even new. Because a lot of the men that were eunuchs, they had a husband, but they didn't call them eunuchs in other things. But they would make a man castrate himself, and then he would be the wife of another man. But he was just poking him in the backside. Old boy did that, Nero, and a few other kings too. They had their boy queens. This is our history. You can go look it up. So nothing has changed. Men have, yes. Go look up Nero. And it was other kings too. They castrated them boys and they made them their wives. And they dressed them like women and everything. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to let y'all go look it up since y'all probably don't believe me. Go look it up and see. Nero is Nero. He killed his first wife and then went and married a man that looked just like her. I forgot. Excuse me. Oh, shoot. Excuse me. Little parts. Let me go get some water. I think my meds went down the wrong pipe. I think my meds went down the wrong pipe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'll be all right. You know, sometimes stuff just go down there and choke you up a little bit. Whew. Oh, shoot. Gotta be careful when you ingest this. Ooh, almost took me out the damn game. Okay, where was we at? Did y'all go look up Nero? Did y'all go look up Nero's first wife and then his second marriage? He was also the husband. He was the wife in one of his marriages. Nero and Sporus. Thank you. Yep. Uh-huh. And he castrated that man and had him live as his wife. And then Nero, in one of his marriages, he was the wife. Like in one of them, he was the husband, the next one he was the wife. But whatever it was, he went and got a dude that looked exactly like his wife and married him. Castrated him and married him. Yep. I'm gonna see if I can find something real quick. Excuse me. So it's online. I don't think it's in this version. I think it's online. Yeah. Dang it. It's in the one online. So the version online. So when we see these celebrities that appear to be women, we know they're just men in history. A lot of them were. Yeah. A lot of your princesses and stuff was really boys. It was his stepbrother. Okay. So in the version of Adam and Eve on somebody said Daddy, I'm done. I love y'all. I mean it's true. Barack and Michael. Yeah. Amen. What am I looking for? Oh, I'm gonna show y'all something. Game of Thrones too. Yep. Yep. Because remember they had boyfriends, but they had the wife. Like all the stars is doing right now. You see, they didn't got on Shannon Sharp talking about that man, his boyfriend. The guy that be sitting, they talking about that's his boyfriend now. What do they call that when men use women? It's not a front. They call them it's a name for it that they use. A beard. Yeah. They use women as a beard. Right. They get married and they really be they best friend be their boyfriend. Right. And none of that is new. And I'm about to show y'all. Give me 1 second. And that's not coming for nobody. It's just there's nothing new under the sun. I promise. Nothing. There's nothing new under the sun. I'm about to show you something. Okay, which one is it? Let me see. Okay, give me one moment, y'all. So Rutherford Platt's version of Adam and Eve is a little different from R.H. Charles. So I've read these, like I said, I've read Rutherford Platt's version. His is called The Forgotten Books of Eden, but it's the same. They both got like the different translations, but the same. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for a specific thing. Okay. Who believes that unaliving themselves started with people unaliving themselves started with Adam and Eve? Who thinks that that's possible? Anybody think that that's not real? God kept bringing them back. And God brings people back now. They're trying to unalive themselves. They say, you should not be here. God said, yeah, you ain't getting out that easy. Yeah. Now, that's not what I wanted to show y'all, though. That's one thing. So that's why I say there's different versions. I've read R.H. Charles' version, and I've read Rutherford Platt's version. Okay. Y'all know I don't know Roman numerals. Tell me this. What is the number? And I'm okay with not knowing them. What is that? 27? Is that 27? 28? 27? Oh, I'm doing better. I need y'all to go to the first book of Adam and Eve and go to chapter 27 real quick with me. I'm going to give y'all some time to go there. If you're new, if you're new, I need you to go to sacredtext.org and go to the Apocrypha and click on it. Sacred Text, SACRED, text, TEXT.org. .com. You're going to see a lady holding a baby. It's going to say Apocrypha. Click that. Or you're just going to see Apocrypha. Click that. Scroll down a little bit. You're going to see the first book of Adam and Eve. I need you to go to chapter 27. This. Please. Okay. Now, have you guys heard people say that when they're meditating, they feel lights come through their body? Feel the light pulsing through your body. You are a being of light and blah, blah, blah. But you started out in this dark space. Clear your mind. Right? So let's look at that. We're going to look at this real quick and see what God got to say about the first people and what happened. All right. It says, when Satan, the hater of all good, saw how they continued in prayer and how God communed with them and comforted them and how he had accepted their offerings, Satan made an apparition. He began with transforming his host. Can y'all go look up the word transform for me and tell me what it means? What's the definition of transform? The website won't pop up. SACREDTEXT. It should. I need to put some water in that diffuser. It's dry in here. To change. To change in form, appearance, or structure. To change. Change. Change it. I know that ain't what it say. Oh, make a thorough or dramatic change in form, appearance, or character. Shapeshifted. Who remembers me saying that the angels are shapeshifters? And some of their children had the abilities of their fathers. Right.
Transformation. All right. Here we go. Satan can't show himself, not his true self. He got to show the made up self, the crafted self, the plastic surgery self, not the self that God made you, but the self that he want to see. So not what God want to see, what he want to see. Okay, we're just going to go right here. Let's go. It's right here. Here we go. He began with transforming his host. Who is Satan's host? Who is Satan's host? You said this live is so good. I can't stop watching. Thank you. His followers, the people that he is a ruler over, the angels that fell with him. He's their prince, the Bible says. The third of the angels that fell with him, they make up his kingdom. No, not the watchers. Not the watchers. Not the watchers. No. The third of Satan's host, sacred text. S-A-C-R-E-D. Text, like you text your phone. Sacred text. Anybody that follows Satan, right? Thank you. For those of you, there's no name there. It's just flags. Now I can't even say thank you. I don't know the name to use. There's a band called Satan's Host. Sarah, you be always finding the goodies. You always seem to find the goodies. It's a whole, thank you, Leah. Was you here? Never mind. That's what you just seen. There was a band. Wow. Look how stuff just be. Yeah, Sarah always did it. I had a whole argument with my friend about the fallen angels not being the one who slept with the daughters. So then you gotta call them back and say, I'm sorry, Pumpkin, I was wrong. You was right. They was right if you was arguing that they wasn't. And you was wrong. It's okay. We be wrong sometimes. I used to argue the same. I was a 66er one time too. Just so y'all know, this is 66ers Anonymous. And what that means is we just don't only believe that the 66 books is it. And I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't. So if you want to enroll in the 66 Anonymous class, I'm going to show you why you should. Right here. See this? This is 66ers Anonymous. So we're going to go down here. See, all the way down in 1782 AD, okay, there was 66. But in 1611 AD, there was 80. Now, there was all of these Bibles before your Bible, all the way back to BC when there was only 39. And the Septuagint came in 200 BC, which is the Greek manuscript. And 53 books came with that. Now, who wants to know something real nice? If you're new here, raise your hand. If you're new, raise your hand. I'm going to show you something real fast. You're new. Okay. Okay. So, those 66 books are an outline, okay, to what's really there. Okay? But I'm going to show you something. Because when you think of Greece, if you've not already been here, not the old people that have been here, my newbies that I just said, if you knew, when you think of Greece or the Greeks, ancient Greeks, do you think of white people? You think of Caucasians when you think of ancient Greece? Automatically, you kind of see white men sculpted with the little, yeah. Right? So let's look at that. I want to show you something. Two things real quick. Three, actually. Has anybody ever heard of the Odyssey? You've heard of the Odyssey, I'm sure. Homer and the Odyssey. Now, you see the skin tone on this bird guy? My oldies know already. You see the skin tone on this old guy? If you watched 300 or Clash of the Titans, yeah, you did. Sure you did. If you've watched 300, Clash of the Titans, any of those, you did. This right here. Okay. So I'm going to show you something. Now, you see the bird guy got real dark skin, right? So do the ancient Greeks. And there was dog people, like in Egypt. There was dog, Anubis. Right. And see this color skin? Now, I wonder why that skin is that black in the ancient Greeks and in the ancient Egyptians. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you something else just real fast. Just stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Where's my book? Did I put it back, y'all? I probably did. Oh, no. I did not. See anything familiar? See anything familiar? Like if I made it with a whale, my skin might be blue. And if I made it with a bird, I might have a beak too. You said what? These was the rulers of ancient Egypt. We just read it where it said they made it with the reptiles and the birds of the air and all of them folks. So I was thinking if I made it with a bird, I'll probably have a beak. Or if I made it with a ram or a lamb or a ham. No, I'm just playing. But for real, look. Now you want to tell me that didn't live? You want to tell me that the nigga got locks and a cool fade, but he also got goat ears and some tusks like things going down on the front of his head. I wonder why. Sweet tooth, you said it. Now let's see what else we can find in here. Oh, Nubia. Where did we see this long head at with a lion body? Where we see that at? In Tartaria, they told us that these things existed. So let's go over here and get this One World Tartarians and see what they say about the ancient Greece, right? Ancient Greece. We'll agree. It's ancient Greece. Ain't that what they tell us? This ancient Greece right here, ain't it? This is what they said was in ancient Greece. Okay. Now, okay. So we're going to show this in a minute. We know in Tartaria they were there. We know in Nubia they were there. Okay, we know they were there. Let's see what else was in Egypt. Let's see if I can find something else that's interesting. I know there's something else in here. I just want to show you. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, Medusa. Would y'all like to see what Medusa really looked like? Raise your hand if you want to see what Medusa really looked like. Because if they went into the reptiles, there should be snake people, right? So look what Medusa really looked like. See the snake face? She got locks. She's, guess what? It's a bird person up at the top. Well darned it.
Oh, that's really what Medusa looked like. This. Because that's going to be a hard mask to have, isn't it? And his skin blue, like your avatars. So have they been telling us? Without telling us for that's Medusa right there. That's the original Medusa. And there go your bird people. And it's still people in Africa that have sandy blonde hair. So funny when black people say, or people that are of non-color say, blonde hair came from white people. Well, it didn't. Well, it actually didn't. It didn't. Because if you go look at the kids on Solomon Island, they look just like that. They real dark skin like that. They bodies kind of look like that. And they got that sandy brown hair just like that turns into blonde when they get in the sun. So, and guess what? The people on Solomon Island have the ability to dive with no diving equipment. Their eyes can dilate and they can slow their breathing down and go deep. You said because probably they was messing with some fish people. Or the tribe that is in Africa still where everybody got bird claws and they said they came from Sirius B and our scientists, it's in their records on pottery from 3,000 years ago that they came from Sirius B, their ancestors did, and our scientists just found Sirius B like in the 2000s or early 1900s, something like that. But these bird feed people, the ostrich folks over in Africa, they say, oh no, we came from Sirius B. You mean, what's her name? Hathor's people? What's her name? The Egyptian goddess that had the bird claw feet. She was a harpy. Like Maleficent. Right? Ain't Maleficent a harpy? Ain't that what she is? And old girl had the claw feet and the angel wings and a beautiful goddess face. And she was revered as a goddess. You mean because the angels' kids was the gods and goddesses? Okay, but let's get going. CERCA, where are you going with this? So I showed y'all the ancient Greeks. And I showed y'all the ancient Egyptians. The color it means something. I'm about to show you something right here. So we're gonna flip to the back of this book. Now it said they went into the animals of the field and the birds, didn't it? And these is the ancient Greeks right here. I showed you the ancient Egyptians, and there's something in here that just keeps sticking out, like the color. So let's go and see why. I'm about to show you. Who says they hide in them? Have you ever heard of unseen and seen? Have you never seen Harry Potter where things can be right in front of your face and you feel like something's in the room with you? You know something's in the room with you, but you can't see it because they're in an invisibility cloak. Have you ever heard of a veil that needs to be ripped? Magic is real. I just showed you that in Enoch. The first thing they taught them was magic potions and whatnot. You don't think they did invisibility? I don't think they did. Now, back to what I was saying. So look here. We just seen that the Egyptians and there we go. God, you're so good. You just let me do it right here, right here. It's just so great. Okay, so let me show you this. Here's Homer. I just showed you this book. This guy, Homer, right? The Iliad, Homer, right? Now look at this book. Screenshot, please, because I don't want to have to hold it back up. Here, I'm gonna show you something. Screenshot, because I won't be answering no questions about what the book name is or nothing. You'll learn to use a screenshot fingers real fast over here. So you can go look it up for yourself. Okay, moving on. Now, there's Homer, right here. This is biblical history. I want y'all to know that too. World history. They go Homer, see? Of Smyrna, Asia Minor. Boom. Homer. That's the guy. Right?
Oh, then we just look at them in that book right there. The Assyrian archers. Then we just look at this Assyrian deity in the water. We did. We just looked at this Assyrian deity in the water. Right? We just seen that. Now, I'm not done. Right there. Now, because I'm about to show you something. I'm about to show you something. Just give me one moment. Oh, here we go. It's right on the other page. Now look here. Look what it said right there. See this? Right there. Right here under Thebes. Where it says Cadmus is said to have brought the 15 Phoenician letters into Greece. In 1493, they gradually changed in form until they became the grounds for the Roman and European. I can't read this backwards, y'all. Hold on, I'm too far away. See that where it say Cadmus right here? Right here. So your Greek and Roman letters came from the 15 Phoenician letters. Because the first Greeks came from Africa. Moving on. Now here we go. I'm going to read it because I can't do it over there. It says Cadmus is said to have brought the 15 Phoenician letters into Greece in 1493. They gradually changed in form till they became the ground of the Roman letters now used in Europe and America. You said what? You said the Phoenicians is about the Greeks and the Romans, and we have the English dialect and alphabet? No. Now I'm going to show you something even funnier than that. We're going to look right here. Flip this back just a little bit. And if you are not a believer, I will show you further. See here? See right there under Chaldea and Babylon? He said instead of the Chaldees, the Assyrians and the Babylonians, the Greek names of the kings of Babylon and Assyria are herein given, as they are most found and commonly used. So when you read about the Greek gods, you're really reading about the Chaldeans, the kings of Babylon and Assyria. Remember I said they was the rulers and the gods? Well, even the non-color folks said so. The historians say, well, we ain't going to tell them. But they really just reading the Bible. So who was the Greek gods that were really the Assyrian and Babylonian kings? Juno, Jupiter, Neptune, Vulcan. And what did they have right after that? Because these are the bloodlines from Persia. So it was centaurs in Persia, and Assyria or Syria, Babylon. It was mermaids there too. This is bloodline, baby. That's what these is. Don't believe me? I'm about to show you. And didn't I tell you on Percy Jackson, they always show that man as a Persian soldier when he get up out that wheelchair on Percy Jackson. Now, of course, they are color deficient, but that's okay. We know. So when you read or when you watch anything about Thor or any of the Greek mythology, you're reading the Bible about the Assyrian and Babylonian kings. God don't how you care how you get the Bible as long as you get it. When you go and you read Norse mythology, I just showed you that they was in Erd and the Nephil, the land of the giants. Oh, so Norse mythology, this book, Greek mythology, and the Bible all say the same thing. That's great. Enoch too.
This is why Judges and Chronicles and Genesis really is a wealth of knowledge, but people skip over because they think it's BS and they don't realize that's how I found out that all of the rulers that were going against Israel were monsters. That's why it was so big of a battle. Because in the seventh generation from Adam, the angels not only came down and slept with the women, but they slept with the animals too. And if you have the Dead Sea Scrolls, you can go to the Book of the Giants in this book here, and it's going to show you. You just give me a moment. My other book is already marked. This one is new. The War Scroll is in here too, Armageddon. That's also in here. You can read about that too. Hold on, look. Let me get my old one because I don't know exactly what pages it is, but in this one I know where it is. It go right to it. You see, up for 293. That's how you know I didn't broke it. Look, Hatamata, I was telling you, the ones you really use, you can go right to it. This new one ain't been broke in yet. 293. So we're gonna go to 293. Okay, well, let's show this first. See that the wicked angels began to teach the arts of sin to the human race. Azazel taught humankind to make swords and iron of copper. We just read this in Enoch, remember? The complaint of the earth and its inhabitants come before the unfallen angels remaining in heaven. There we go, right? So then we're going to flip right here to the Book of the Giants in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Right? And what's it say right there? A summary statement of the descent of wicked angels, bringing both knowledge and havoc. And what did they do? They exploited the fruitfulness of the earth. And what else did they do? 200 angels chose animals, including presumably humans, on which to perform unnatural acts. They took 200 donkeys, 200 asses, 200 rams of the flock, 200 goats, 200 beasts of the field from every animal, and thousands from every bird, and it should say reptiles. And the outcome of that corruption was violence, perversion, and a brood of monstrous beings. Genesis 6 and 4. And the Book of the Watchers from Enoch 1. What? See how they cleaned your version up? Because it references Genesis 6 that it was monstrous beings. And because they was mixed with animals and birds, you mean like what we just looked at, the bird man, like this? You mean like that? You mean like this right here in the seventh generation from Adam when the earth was still new and it hadn't been flooded yet and had nobody left Africa yet? You mean then? Oh, and then it also created beings like this, like animals from the field, like these, would have people or humanoid beings. That's why we got all our genetic disorders right now, like sickle syndrome, bird syndrome. It was the judges. The judges. But once they came down off that mountain, after they made that path at Enoch, they were fallen. Once they made it up in their mind that they was gonna go down there and snatch them up a wife and give her the business, then it was a wrap after that. So you know what happened? Oh, boy was over there. Y'all know who Gilgamesh is? Gilgamesh. And they were fighting against the forces of heaven. You mean because their daddies couldn't go back up there? You mean like in all of the God of War movies, they're gonna get into the heavens and fight with the gods because they stopped them from being able to see their kids and stuff? You mean that? You mean when God told Michael and them to go down and make them fight against each other and unalive themselves? Dang, how old is Gilgamesh? Well, Gilgamesh, I'm gonna show you something. It's real old. Where is my other book? Come on. There it goes. Sargon the Magnificent is supposed to be Cain, but he looked just like Gilgamesh, don't he? Yes, the Watchers made it. The Watchers are the judges. They didn't fall until they got on that mountain and decided that they were going to sleep with the women. That's when they fell. When they made that pact that we just read about. They did not fall with Lucifer's angels. They was here. God was not going to let no evil angels that had already failed uh, judge his people. They can't judge. They can't be a righteous judge of God if they've fallen. This was another set of angels that got set to watch over us. And instead of them watching over us, they started to interact with us. And that was never what they were supposed to do. But isn't it funny how Gilgamesh and Sargon the Magnificent look just alike? Same eye thing and everything. Isn't that interesting? My son walked in the bathroom and someone whispered, "Say Lion is here now." What was that? I don't know. Are you talking about Sargon? Because that's Sargon, not Sagon. I don't know. But anyway, there's the Book of the Giants in here. You can read this. It's okay. You can read this and what happened because in the Antichrist, it says, in the Antichrist, I don't know what that is. Is that a movie or something? Because Hercules married Abraham. Oh no. Hercules married Abraham's granddaughter and fought against Libya and Antaeus. That's in the Antiquities of the Jews, the history of the Jews. If we got some Hebrew Israelites in here, y'all know that, right? It's in the Antiquities of the Jews and the Wars of the Jews and all of that. It's in there in the history. That's in Josephus. And I think Josephus lived 12 to 20 years after Jesus died. And he wrote the history of the Jews down and all of that. So I don't know about that. See this name right here? Mayway. And after a cosmic journey, Mayway comes to Enoch and makes his request. So Mayway is a giant, and he's the son of Barachiel. If I'm not mistaken, he's the son of Barachiel, the angel. Here it is. Remember I told y'all the dude Barak in the beginning of the Bible was not a person at all, as a matter of fact? And all he did was drop the E-L, Barak. One who fell like heaven from light, like one who fell from heaven like lightning. Oh. See it? So it says the giants begin to be troubled by a series of dreams and visions. Mayway, the Titan, son of Angel Barachiel, reports the first of these dreams to his fellow giants. He sees a tablet being immersed in water, and when it emerges, all but 3 names have been washed away. The dream may symbolize the destruction of all but Noah and his sons in the flood. And Ohio, this is where you get your name, Ohio, because Ohio is called the Valley of the Giants. Ohio, the Ohio Valley. And who lived there?
The Amorite copper traders lived in the Ohio Valley. The Ohio Valley. And he was the angel of he was the son of the angel Barachiel. That's what Ohio used to be spelled like. They changed it to I-O. But if you go look up right now, Ohio is one of the fallen angels' kids. And if you go and look in a book, it's reading rainbow, reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading rainbow. The Mediterranean Amorites, copper traders in the Ohio Valley. You mean in Giant Valley? The skull types and where they found them in. The Indian races, and it tells you every single state that they found them in, where they found the You said not be singing to and is. So you said the people that used to live in ancient Mesopotamia, the Amorites, made it all the way over here to the Ohio Valley. What else did they find? They found ancient dwarves and fairies in Pennsylvania, Ohio, West Virginia. These are real newspaper clippings from the 1800s, 1700s, 1900s. I'm going to show y'all. Illinois, Tennessee, Missouri, South Dakota, Idaho, New Mexico, and Arizona is where they found the ancient dwarves and fairies. And then the origins of the Neanderthal hybrids, the Stotrian giants, and then giant Neanderthal hybrids in North America. Where did they find them? California, Utah, Ohio, West Virginia, Indiana, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Illinois, Iowa, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri, Labrador, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana. Burial types, it shows that. And then there was something else. Giants with double rows of teeth. And where was they found at? And we got dentists in here that said they remove double rows of teeth all the time, just like a 6-digit, web fingers, and 6 toes. Double rows of teeth is a genetic disorder from the giants. You didn't know that, but now you do. Look here. Where did they find people with double rows of teeth? Let's see where they found them at. The extra digits or missing digits shows you. Your brother had that? There you go. Now, let's go see where they found those guys at. Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New York, Virginia, Florida, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia, Ohio, Iowa, California, and New Mexico. Giants with horns found in North America? You mean subcutaneous horns? Like the ones that the lady in India got growing right now? Where was they found at? I wonder. The genetic disorders I be trying to tell you. In Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, and Tennessee. I don't know, Russian wind. You have to tell me. I have no idea. I do not know everything. That is your studies. Now, all of those mounds that we used to go sledding on, they're ancient burial mounds, and the giants is in there. They found them all over the place. These are from, look, 1898, unearthed skeletons. They talk about serpent mound, 1898, 1898, right? You barely see Texas on there. I'm shocked. Have you looked in the book? Or are you just talking about right here? (1867), 1873, giant
Huge skeletons unearthed. 1921. June 2nd, 1888. 1938. And this book is thick. Oh, yeah, you got to look through here. Shows you where all your mounds are, where your bridges are, what they found in them, all over the place. Kentucky, giant mummy. November 7th, 1896. The body, that of a man 8 feet tall. Interesting. I think it's a relics of great value, also unearthed. Yeah, and it'll show you pictures of their bones and they whatever. And you can go look this stuff up. You can go to the library. And what is it called? That film? Giant Indian Bones. Palm Beach. Georgia sand dunes yield startling proof of prehistoric race of giants. The Georgia sand dunes in 1936. Wichita, Kansas, May 26. Georgia sand dunes. Who knew? Y'all gonna use y'all manners or you won't get nothing here. I keep trying to tell y'all, don't nobody tell me what to do. I don't care if you just came in. You gonna use your manners or you won't see nothing. We use please and thank you here. Can you please show me the book? Can you please pick that back up again? You don't say show me or pick it up. Because that'll make me throw it on the ground. And you won't see it here. You'll be looking for it. You're going to use your manners here. I promise you will. Can you please show me? You good. And there's another one too. This ain't the only one. Okay. So there's so much information that's sitting right out in front of us. But we don't take the time to learn. And if they ain't seeing it on social media and all of this, we ain't went to look it up for ourselves to put the pieces together. But I'm telling you, I have, and they fit real, real good, like a puzzle. All of them. That's how I can take you through all of these races of people. We got all the mythologies back here. Y'all can't see it. Well, hey, Daisy Dagger. How are you? I ain't seen you, girl. Back here, we got the creation of the gods in Mandarin and English. We got Persian myths, Japanese myths, swords and steam, Celtic myths, Native American witches and wizards, myths and tales, beasts and creatures, African myths and tales, gods and monsters, Greek myths and tales, Chinese myths and tales, Norse mythology, Hindu mythology is up here. So you go looking for yourself and you find that all the names be the same. The stories be the same because when God changed the Tower of Babel, he didn't change the stories. He just changed the name. That's why every race of people has some kind of person that's supposed to be born around the 25th or revealed to the world around the 25th. And they all got the same birthday and stuff because it's the same story. But if I go to another country, my name is not going to be CERCA. They're going to pronounce it in the dialect that they speak. And so it can sound completely different. Because they might not even have the vowels and all of that we got. Or maybe we don't have enough. Or whatever it is. So when people start to see it like that, you'll quit trying to push everything out and start putting else together. Do I have a list of all my books? No. I do have a list of books that you can get that will help you with your studies in Amazon, but no. Mm-mm. So there's that. Hmm. Yeah. But the cool thing about it is if you get that book and you live in one of those cities, you can go visit these places. What do you mean? They do. Yeah. Right. Right. So genetics. All you got to do is Google mythological gods and then genetics, like intersex people, people that are born intersex. And I say this all the time, and it's not to be offensive, it's the truth. Right? So if you know that the Assyrian and Babylonian kings, when you are reading about Greek mythology, is really about the Assyrian and Babylonian kings, Hermes and Aphrodite were Greek gods, right? And goddesses. Which means they was really an Assyrian and a Babylonian king and queen in the 7th generation, 8th generation, 9th generation from Adam. We just saw that. And Hermes and Aphrodite's children are hermaphrodites. It's Hermes and Aphrodite's kids, like an Israelite and a Canaanite and a Jebusite. So intersex people now are in the line of Hermes and Aphrodite. A hermaphrodite is Hermes and Aphrodite's kid, like an Israelite or a Canaanite or a Jebusite and the like. Yeah. And they were born with both sexes. They were able to be either or. Where do you think the name came from? Come on now, y'all. I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm gonna let y'all take that in. And before I told you that, I told you who the real Greek gods were. They were the ancient Assyrians and Babylonians. So when you don't want to read the Bible, you cheat yourself about knowing the real Greek, Roman, Celtic mythology. It's all the Assyrian and Babylonian stories of them being the conquerors and the stuff you see in the Bible. You cheat yourself. You gonna read the Bible one way or another. The Bible said not one person is gonna leave the world without hearing the word of the Lord. He said that. So if he got to get you to watch it on Marvel, and I'm going to show you how they get y'all on Marvel. Oh, I done took it out of here. If you look at the Wonder Woman costume, the gold one that Hatamata just got me, her wings look just like this. That Wonder Woman costume she just got me, the gold one, her wings look just like that. And they got them standing up in the back of her, just like that. What's it say? When giants were upon the earth, the bird people with wings, because they daddies could fly. God dang it. You mean these bird people? You mean these bird peoples? You mean the same bird people that's gonna show up in the Hindu book if I pull it out? Because they got bird people with human hands and stuff in here too. And blue people and green people. You see? You see that? Blue folks. And they glowing. Kind of like that sun that be around the leaders. And then, what we got here? Blue people with multiple arms. Are people in India still not being born like this right now? India has the highest births with multiple limbs and extra body parts. India. And the babies that are born with these extra limbs and stuff, they be worshipped as gods. Right now. Oh, another blue person. But we know there's regular colored people in India. But then there's also these blue people. They got this glow around them. I wonder if those are the same blue people that could have possibly been in Egypt. Now, let me see if India had green people and bird people. Oh, there they go. Now let's see. Human, flesh colored person, blue lady. Flesh colored person, blue lady. Flesh colored person, blue lady. Now, why does this bird, right, out on the ground and stuff, and why is this dude green? Tell me. More blue people, bird folks. And the blue people is ruling with the regular skin folks. Just like blue people, bird people, regular skin color people. So it shows up in Greek mythology. It shows up in ancient Egypt. It shows up in ancient India. And I guarantee you, I can take you to my Asian books, and it's the same. Uh huh. Yeah. It was other races of people in ancient civilizations because they were the gods and the rulers. And if I go into the fish, I'm going to make people that have the hints of fish. If I go into the lizards and the reptiles, I'm going to make some green people. In every race of people. In the seventh generation, they went into the fish, the birds, and every animal of the field. And if you go and study genetics, you will see those genetic cyclopia, cyronomelia, mermaid syndrome. I said this, hypertrichosis, werewolf syndrome. You go down, Seckel syndrome, bird syndrome, polydactyly, syndactyly, autodactyly, be web fingers, multiple fingers, double rows of teeth. All of this stuff is to let you know that there was something that was introduced to the unadulterated genome of humans at some point in time. Alopecia and eczema. Come on. Elephantiasis, tiasis. India got elephant people. And it says that at the Tower of Babel in the book of Jasher, that some men were turned into apes and some men were turned into elephant men. And we got Planet of the Apes and we got the movie Elephant Men. Oh. Oh, shoot. And we got a genetic disorder and people with the Shriners that they hair go all over their body and they look like an ape except for on their palms and a little bit right here on their face and on the bottom of their feet. Let a nigga not put too much lotion on. He'll definitely be looking like a lizard, like CERCA is right now. I mean, the whole you get bit by a mosquito and it swell one half of your body up to look like an elephant. I don't know if I'm buying it. Because everybody don't get bit by that mosquito. How is it if there was not elephant DNA introduced to the human genome? Does one half of their body look human and the other side look exactly like elephant limbs? What is giantism? Is giantism not a genetic disorder? Andre the Giant had giantism. And they said it's a human genetic disorder. So all of our human genetic disorders can be traced back to when the angels went into the animals and the women in the seventh generation from Adam. I'll be right back. Go look it up for yourself. All our genetic, they be lying to you talking about they don't know where they came from. Yes, they do. Now y'all see why I studied the migration of people out of Africa. Because once you study the migration and you get the Bible, you study the migration of people, right? The scientist version of it, like the Smithsonian version, like this version, right? From the dawn of civilization to present day. Now, why in the world would the Smithsonian be talking about the Hittites and the Jebusites if the Bible ain't real? Because science tell us that the Bible and stuff wasn't real, right? They say it's either one or the other. I'm about to show you how they don't even believe it. Now, who remembers that Joseph's brother is Nereus, and Nereus is the Greek fish god? Job, who used to be called Jobab in the Bible before God changed his name, his brother is Nereus, father to the Nereids in Greek mythology. If you go look up Nereus right now, he looks like this with a fish bottom on him. Go look up Nereus, and that's Job from the Bible's brother. And Job was an ancient Mesopotamian king. Okay. Brother Q. Now look, you've been here a long time. You know the rules. Sir, when I hold it up the first time, you better grab it. You see how many books I done held up? It makes me angry. I'm gonna be honest, because you've been here a while. I'm sorry, and yes, you said please, but you've been here. You know the screenshot when I hold the book up. You've been here. This I know. And that's why I don't go back and forth lifting up no books, because they heavy. Look. Now, why in the world would grown men put on fish suits? In ancient Mesopotamia, why do everybody got fish suits on and animal heads? Unless what Enoch said is true. And you know what's right above this? Yes, and the Bible talks about mermen too. I'm about to show you. The Bible talks about unicorns in Job. What is this used for? Magic. So it was fish people in ancient Mesopotamia. We know that Nereus was Job's brother, and he was the fish god. And I can show you that in the Testament of Job before you think I'm crazy. Real quick, and then I'm about to go because I gotta go find me some food. I'm getting hungry. And I know y'all not gonna help me pick all these books up. You never do. Our Job in the Bible. Yep. It's in the if you got this, it's in the Testament of Job. I'm about to show you. Testament of Job. There it goes. This is the Testament of Job. Not your Job, the rest of it. Okay. The Testament of Job. It's in book 1. Helping me in the spirit. Well, thank you. Okay. It's the Old Testament Supergrapha. Okay. So here we go. After the three stopped singing hymns while the Lord was present, was Nereus, the brother of Job, and while the holy angel was present, I sat near Job on the couch. Nereus, the fish god, and Amatheus horn, we know that. Nike and Cassia. Did y'all know that Job's daughter's name was Nike, or son's name was Nike? Son or daughter. Nereus. The fish dude. And Nereus is the fathers to Nereid. Is Job Greek mythology? No. He was an ancient Mesopotamian and Assyrian, like he was an ancient Mesopotamian king. Nereus is in the Testament of Job. Nereus. But you can Google him. Just Google fish god Nereus. Old Testament Supergrapha, y'all. The logo represents her wings. Well, Nike was Job's daughter. Sean, do you read the KJV? The easiest way is because I can go to Persia. Not you, Sean Lockett. I'm talking to Sean the legend. I look up Nike and it shows the bloodline of the Greek gods, and I just told you that the Greek gods, you're new to it. Okay. Well, when you go to the Bible and then you go to all of the ancient histories and you do the research, it's all right there. It's all right there. You can't miss it once you start looking for the right stuff. It's all in your face everywhere. Hmm. Yeah. Thank you, ancient traveler. I appreciate it. I'm about to go because I'm about to feed my belly. Fed your soul. Now I'm gonna feed my belly. I gotta find me something to eat. We've been on here 169 minutes, and I already did like 300 minutes earlier. Listen, nigga is tired. I don't know. This one getting chunky because I be eating too late at night. I never used to eat after 7 o'clock, and I'm about to go back to that. I never used to eat after 7 o'clock. Not no meal. The last year since I've been doing this, I do. But prior to this, my whole life I did not eat after 7. Not no dinner. Unless I was real sleepy. You new here? Well, come on back. Thank you. If we have 800 classes on YouTube. So if you enjoyed this class and you want to know more, CERCA TROVA 22 on YouTube. We got over 850 something classes like this that we did in less than 2 years because our 2-year mark is coming up like February 28th. Yeah. I've been talking all day in my throat. So CERCA TROVA, the same name up here. If you type in CERCA 22, we come up on YouTube. We have our websites, CERCA TROVA 22. We got IG, a couple other things, but I'm too hungry to think about it. But definitely go. It's CERCA TROVA. CERCA TROVA. I just said Google CERCA 22 on YouTube or Google or Siri or whatever, and it's gonna bring up my YouTube and my all that stuff, so you can IG and all of that. Yeah. But if you ever miss our classes, which a lot of people do, we have 860 roughly or so on YouTube. So you can go back to the beginning. Do I need a loyal moderator? No. I am the moderator. You know I'm the moderator. I like chopping people in the throat. I just go on and block them. I used to have a mom. She make all our stuff. She's now like, what, a digital person. Like, I got it. I like chopping them in the throat. It makes me it's provocative. Nobody knows what it means. It just gets your blood pumping. You know what I'm saying? So I just let them come on in here. I'm gonna be nice at first, cause they think cause I'm talking about the Bible, but they don't know I'm like a Paul or a Peter or a David. One of those guys. Paul, Peter, or David. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain things, I think Samuel, didn't he get old Agag or Ahag or whatever his name was? He went on and got him together. I might be a Samuel too. Or Elisha. I don't know. Elisha, you want some pips on these? Elisha? Is that what you want? A Thecla? I could be a Thecla too. Rahab used to be. No. And you said, huh? You said Mary Magdalene. You said what? You said Neymar probably was my cousin. That's what you said. So anyway, if you like this class and you want to know more about my books and all of the stuff that this community just sent to put in here, the best way to find out all the books I got is to watch the classes, because we gonna use a different one every day. Normally. No, that's not true. We probably always gonna use the OTP, but we'll use other ones to back all that up. You going to watch the morning class. Okay. I love y'all. Hopefully you learned something if you came here. You're welcome back. We just ask that you use your manners. Please and thank you will get you so far in here. See y'all later. I love y'all. Oh, thank you, Mr. Mike. I appreciate you. I don't know, Serenity. We'll have to talk about it another day. I'm about to go get me some food. I love you. I don't know. I can't think right now. I'm hungry. I love you.